Hey, what's cracking YouTube? Jax the Bearded Hiker here. Gonna be cooking up you some Salisbury steak today. So let's see what's in this stuff. Okay? So this is for the meat mixture here. So we're gonna need a pound of ground beef. You're gonna need 2 tablespoons of mustard, 2 tablespoons of ketchup, 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. Here I've got some Italian breadcrumbs, 1/3 of a cup. With if you can see on here, I got a little bit of Himalayan sea salt and pepper. The salt and pepper is just going to be to your taste. Here I got 2 egg yolks, just the yolks, not the white, and 4 tablespoons of butter. And these beauties right here, we got 1 onion, and I got some mushrooms here. This is probably about, I'm going to say about 1.5 cups. I happen to be using king oysters. You can use any kind of oyster mushroom, any kind of mushrooms you want. So right now I'm going to mix up this meat. While you're mixing up your meat, go ahead and heat your pan up with some butter. Okay, we got our butter melting down, and while that's been melting, we've mixed up our meat and we've made them into these patties here. And out of that ground meat, a pound of ground meat, you should get 4 patties, just like that. She's an awesome helper. I didn't want to get my hands dirty. Obviously she had gloves on. She didn't want to get her hands dirty either. Alright, so we're frying up these bad boys. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to show you what's going to go in the gravy. Alright, so for our gravy we're going to need 2 cups of beef broth, 1 tablespoon of ketchup, 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, 1.5 tablespoons of cornstarch, and this is not the right amount here. We're only using 2 tablespoons of chopped parsley. Okay. Alright, I think these are pretty brown. Now when you're flipping them now, you got to be very gentle. If that's what you're looking for, a crust like that. And I got a question for you. So, do you know where Salisbury steak come from? Huh?
You asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you, weirdo.
No.
Well, there was, back in, I think it was like the late 1800s, there was a physician named Dr. Salisbury, and he's the one that came up with that, and he was real big into the kind of low carb thing. So that's where it came from.
That sounds like a load of baloney.
No, I'm serious. Google it. Okay, our meat's ready. So now what we're going to do is remove it. Remove all 4 pieces. Sorry, my hand's in the way. Still be gentle with them. You don't want to break them up. Now we're going to add our mushrooms and onions into the fat, if I can not splash it everywhere. And we're going to saute these up for maybe, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes, or just to ever how you like them. Our onions and our mushrooms have cooked down a little bit to where I like them. What I've done is I've taken 1/2 cup of the beef broth and I've mixed it in with the 1.5 tablespoons of cornstarch. And I made me a little slurry here, okay? So just set that aside. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our beef bouillon or beef stock or whatever, which is 1.5 cups left over. We're going to go ahead and add that into our onions, or in our mushrooms. We're going to add our 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire. and we're going to add in our 1 tablespoon of ketchup. And now we're going to mix all of it together, and we're going to bring it up to a boil. And then when we do that, I'm going to show you what's coming up after that. Okay, we're up to a boil now. Now we're going to add in our slurry. Slowly, don't just dump it in there. Just add it a little bit at a time. That's about half of it. Stir it around. Now we're going to add the rest of it. Okay, now that we've added our slurry, we're going to cook this for maybe, I'm going to say about 3 minutes. And then after that, let me show you what I did here. I've transferred my meat into a bigger pot. So what I'm going to do is, after about 2 or 3 minutes, we're going to pour this reduction here over the meat. Okay, we've reduced it. It's been about 3 minutes. Now what we're going to do is, we're going to add our parsley in there.
What kind of apron is that?
This is my Downton Abbey apron.
Oh, are you a super fan?
No.
Yes, you
No,
are.
I'm not.
Yes, you are.
Okay, now look, I put this apron on. Hold up. I wasn't finished talking. I put this apron on so I wouldn't get this crap all over my...
You wear it all the time. Shut up.
That's true, that's true. Okay, put on your gloves, guys and gals, because this is going to be sketchy. It could be messy, and could be a disaster. Okay, so we got our parsley mixed in there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to pour this carefully over our shite. How about that? That wasn't a disaster. Okay guys, so now the time that we're going to simmer this, we're actually going to bring it up to a small boil first. Then we're going to cut it down to a simmer. And for how long you simmer, it's going to pretty much depend on how hot your stove gets. Mine's probably going to take somewhere probably around 15 or 20 minutes for this to be ready. But I'll let you know exactly if it runs over that or if it's less than that. Oh, yum. Alright guys, it took exactly 15 minutes. I had my timer going, so 15 minutes. So again, it's going to depend on how thick you make those patties. Or, you know, you may like your meat a little bit rarer than I do. I like mine, you know, like medium well. Anyway, let's give this stuff a shot. Oh, by the way, I got it over some potatoes and sausage. If you want that recipe, I made a video on it. It's rice cooker, potatoes, and sausage. But anyway, let's give this stuff a try here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Salisbury steak, guys. Do it.